New South Australian Premier Peter Malinauskas is expected to make an announcement tomorrow after a lengthy meeting with the leadership team behind the state's COVID-19 strategy. Key points: the new SA Premier will hold a press conference on Tuesday. The new SA Premier will hold a press conference on Tuesday. South Australia recorded 3,121 new COVID cases on Monday. South Australia recorded 3,121 new COVID cases on Monday. A legal challenge against the state's vaccine mandate has been delayed. Police Commissioner Grant Stevens and Chief Public Health Officer Nicholas Spurrier sat down with Mr Malinauskas for a lengthy briefing on the COVID-19 situation in South Australia today. It was a great opportunity to provide a briefing to the new Premier, Mr Stevens said after the 2.5-hour meeting. We spoke about how the Emergency Management Act is operating. He's keenly interested in the current status, and there's a range of different options and activities that were contemplated and discussed. At this point in time, there are no firm decisions. But I do understand there will be further information being made available tomorrow. There will be a press conference. This is very early days for the new government, and most of the day was about briefing the new Premier, so what comes out of these briefings will be elaborated on tomorrow. The trio will meet again ahead of tomorrow's press conference. Mr Stevens also noted that Tuesday would be 2 years to the day since the emergency declaration was enacted. South Australia recorded another 3,121 COVID cases on Monday, a slight decline on the previous day's numbers. There have been no new S. There are 150 people with COVID-19 in hospital, including 9 in intensive care. Earlier, the legal challenge launched by benched AFLW footballer Denny Van Hagen against the state's vaccine mandate was pushed back for 2 weeks because of COVID-19. The Supreme Court heard the state's legal team had been struck by family close contact rules, and the Solicitor General was also awaiting PCR results. Benched footballer Denny Van Hagen is challenging the state government's vaccine mandates in the Supreme Court. AFLW player and nurse Ms Van Hagen is among 4 government workers challenging the government's COVID vaccine mandates. AFLW player and nurse Ms Van Hagen is among 4 government workers challenging the government's COVID vaccine mandates. Simon Hour QC, who is representing the 4 government workers, told the court that his team had no choice but to accept the delay. "We can't oppose, but it should be noted that at all times we have sought this litigation to be heard as a matter of urgency," Mr Hour said. "There is some concern that if this adjournment is granted, the litigation will have no utility in that the state coordinator is on the record to say that he may not be expanding the state declaration emergency beyond April 2nd, Mr Hour said. He said the possible review of the emergency declaration would effectively rob his clients of their day in court. Once the declaration ends, COVID vaccinate mandates will effectively disappear.